Before we get into this video, I want to let you know that I am teaching a tarot course this fall. So if you're interested, look at the link in the description below. And of course, if you're interested in working with me one-on-one, everything you need to know is in the description below. Let's get into this video. Hi, Aries. Okay, let's go ahead and jump in. I feel like I need a crystal to focus. Forgive me. Okay. I'm kind of surprised by your reading. And I guess maybe I'm surprised because I didn't do the forecast for August. So, number one, thank you for your patience and for, giving me time, energy, and space to kind of reset. So I feel like I don't know what's going on in your life. I'm going off of trust and faith, what Spirit is giving me, because I was really intentional about shuffling your cards. So let me know how much of this resonates with you, Aries. Current self is the Knight of Cups, typically water sign energy, Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. Also represents a love interest. So maybe your time and attention is focused on a love interest. Maybe you are embodying the Knight of Cups energy, or you're focused on somebody who is Knight of Cups energy. This could also represent maybe you're romanticizing life right now, focusing on beauty, luxury, things that feel good to you. However, the theme of September is going to be Eight of Cups, walking away, feeling isolated even, feeling like you've got to move on from something. The Eight of Cups is also about needing time alone as well. There's a couple cards that I feel could also represent the need for like time alone, like the Hermit card, for example, is one that like you need to kind of go within and reflect. But usually with the Eight of Cups here, this is a message that there's something, Aries, that you're going to have to cash in your chips. I literally just saw that, like you having to push your chips on a table. Like you're going to be like, you know what, I'm done. Cash me out because I can't do this anymore. We'll dig into what exactly that is, but let's keep going for right now. Key goal to pursue is Ace of Swords, which is new information, aha moments, ideas, communication, clarity as well. Maybe maybe it's not related, but for you, it's really important for you to get clarity this month. There's a lot of uncertainty, I think, happening in the month of September. Remember, this is eclipse season. So September's going to be, I don't want to say it's going to be a doozy, because I was just reading some stuff on Susan Miller. It's just that eclipses bring so much change. So, just expect things to be shifted, really. All right. Obstacle to overcome is Seven of Wands, which is maintaining control, maintaining your position, defending yourself, boundaries. It's also about, staying calm even when like shit's going wrong. Like just kind of trying to maintain your position is how I always look at it. A lot of times when I look at the Seven of Wands, it's about sometimes it's about like fighting for what you believe in, fighting for yourself, fighting for your circumstances. But I also feel, Aries, that you are needing to like hold your ground. There's something you don't want to lose here, which is interesting because there's something you have to walk away from, but there's imagine like a divorce, like maybe you have to walk away from the divorce, but you have to fight for. I was just reading up on Tiana Taylor's divorce this morning. I don't know why, but she got like multiple houses in her divorce. And if you don't know who she is, it's a R&B artist, and she was married to Iman, like an NBA player, and their divorce was unfortunate, or maybe fortunate for her, but I don't think anyone's divorce is fortunate. No one wants that, right? But I was reading up on it, and so I didn't really ask for this information, but it was on Google. Like she got like X amount of houses, she got X amount of cars. And so I'm thinking about that in terms of you have to walk away from the marriage, but you have to fight for the things you want in the divorce materially. This isn't really about material, the Seven of Wands, but that's just an analogy that I'm giving here. Needing to walk away from something, but needing to keep something at the same time. So even if you relate it to a job, maybe you need to walk away from a job, but you're fighting to keep your clients that you've earned or something like that. You know? Again, maybe this isn't related. Maybe we're talking about two separate things here, needing to walk away from something while also needing to hold your position in another area of your life. Not sure. We do have the Chariot here, which is about moving forward and moving on. I'm going to be really honest, Aries. I kind of feel like there's a message about you moving. Are you moving? Because sometimes the Chariot, it does, I equate it sometimes with like actually moving and changing locations and travel. I look at it as like cars, but it does represent willpower and determination, and it also represents a sign of Cancer in case a Cancer is important to you. But given what's in front of me, Aries, I kind of feel like you might be either considering moving or planning to move or preparing to move. There's just like this energy here, Aries, of you trying to keep your shit together while you also simultaneously try to advance your life, you know? What to avoid is the Emperor. The Emperor does represent the sign of Aries, but it also represents father figures. It represents, I wanted to say divine masculine, but sure. It represents masculine energy, represents potentially a boss, someone who is in charge, someone who is very directive, somebody who's very driven. They're in charge. They take up space. So maybe there's somebody in your life that's kind of, this to me would be a person. If I wanted to connect it to energy, I would say avoid having lack of direction and lack of vision, like be kind of really decisive about what you want to do this month. I know this is more about what to avoid, but I'm interpreting this as what to do while also interpreting what to avoid. Like, even though I don't have the Two of Wands here, I kind of feel like you need to have a plan, babe. So again, we could be needing to avoid a person, but this could also be a message from Spirit. It's like, don't shrink yourself, take up space, take charge of a situation as well. What to embrace is the Tower. Now, you might see this and you might be like, oh no. Now, as I've worked with tarot over the years, I have learned that the Tower isn't always trying to communicate upheaval and chaos, but sometimes it's communicating something about a physical building. So that's why I'm saying I feel like low-key you might be considering moving or preparing for a move or a change in building physical location. If we are talking about, the traditional meaning of the Tower, which is sudden change, chaos, upheaval, then I would just embrace it because it does seem like something's got to give. It seems like something's got to give. And the eclipses are certainly going to make sure that you've got a clean slate by the end of the month, if I'm being very honest. Where to find support is the Two of Swords. Two of Swords is indecision, and this is really just about trusting your intuition because, you can go this or that all day, but you've got to just trust your gut here. And then advice and encouragement is Five of Cups. We have grief, sadness, and loss. Now, to me, Aries, I'm so serious. Like, there's just something that you're having to move on from, walk away from. This isn't, I'm sorry if you hear my dog snoring tonight. I don't know why, she's kind of loud. This is obviously something you don't want to do, but it feels like you've been put in this position, so you're trying to react to your circumstance and your situation. Let's try to clarify a few of these positions. Okay. Okay. Who or what is Aries walking away from at the end of the month? I want to clarify this Eight of Cups here. theme of the month. Clarify the theme of the month, please, for Aries. We got one. We have the sun. Okay. Interesting. Now, again, the sun is clarity. The sun is also clarity and happiness. Something is not making you happy. Something or someone is not making you happy, Aries, and you're choosing to walk away for your own happiness, for your sense of clarity. I'm also feeling like the only reason I could think that the sun would be coming out in the Eight of Cups, maybe I've mentioned this before, but in another deck, I don't really want to find it because I already have these cards shuffled for you, but let me see if I can. Oh, it's right here. Look, let me put these here. You see how she's walking away? This is the Eight of Cups to her sunrise. You know, I'm going to make sure I put these back the right way. Okay, let me put it like this. That's how it was. Okay. So I started to say the only reason why I could see the sun coming out here with the Eight of Cups is that someone isn't being truthful with you. It's almost like you feel like they're hiding something from you, and because you're tired of trying to get straight answers, that's why you're wanting to walk away. Does that make sense? That's what it feels like to me. All right, now, why is Aries needing to defend their ground? Oh, before I do that, let's get a Kipper card. A card from the Kipper deck for theme of the month. False person fell out. What else? And work. Maybe this is about work. Okay, maybe someone's being untruthful at work. I started to say that too, but I was kind of struggling to create the analogy. So what I started to say in terms of like, you keep asking, you're not getting straight answers. I did think of like a work scenario. Like, imagine, you're being told that you're not doing a good job at work. And so you ask for improvement and like where specifically is wrong, but you keep getting the runaround. Oh, well, we just need you to just do better. You're like, okay, well, what's better? Like, verbalize it. And they're not telling you, but then you feel like by them not telling you, they want you to leave or they want you to quit or something like that. Feels very dishonest. Feels like you're dealing with somebody fake for sure. All right, can you please clarify the Seven of Wands? Obstacle to overcome for you this month? For Aries, please. Obstacle to overcome. Wheel of Fortune. Divine timing. Changing of the karmic wheel. What goes up must come down. Clarify, please. Seven of Wands. Obstacle to overcome. Five of Swords is coming out. Winning at all costs. This is very, very similar to the Seven of Wands. At least the way I interpret the card here on this channel. Five of Swords is like, I'm going to do anything to make it through this goddamn forest. The energy is like very much the same. Very much the same. Clarify, please. Obstacle to overcome for Aries. Concern. You're really worried about how things are going to play out, which is valid. But all I can say to that, babe, is keep your faith. Keep your faith. Because that seems to be all you have at the moment. Maybe there's a windfall coming through. Maybe there's money. We'll see what happens in your career and finance reading. Maybe there's a stroke of luck, a stroke of fate that helps you maintain your ground, maintain your position, but we'll see. A lot of times when I see the Five of Swords, for me, it is a message that you are coming out on the other side. Clarify major accomplishment. We're looking into the Chariot now. Major accomplishment for Aries, please. Two of Swords is coming out again. Right here. Hold on. Two of Swords here. Indecision. There's something you're going back and forth about. Clarify major accomplishment for Aries, please. Five of Cups. We got some repeating cards. First of all, literally Two of Swords and Five of Cups are right next to each other. So these are significant. I would like for you to write that down and meditate and research these cards because Spirit is bringing them up here again. Five of Cups and Two of Swords. But something's behind this Five of Swords. King of Swords. Okay. Got air sign energy here, Libra, Gemini, Aquarius. This very much feels like stay or go energy, Aries, and if I'm being honest, it's looking like you go. If all of September you're trying to figure out, do I stay, do I go, do I stay, do I go? It looks to me that you are choosing to go. That's really what the Chariot is. The Chariot is not about, oh, I'll just stick it out and see. No. It's going to hurt you, but you realize you can't stay here. It's like a plant that's been put in a bad spot. It's going, like I just moved a plant today. Like it's like pre-fall here in New Jersey. Yeah, the weather is very annoying. So like it's like kind of low 60s and the house can get a little cold because it's windy. So I have the heat on auto like to like 70 something. I like my house at like 72 because I'm from the South. Some people might be like, I think that's a comfortable temperature. So anyway, so the heat is on, but I realized I had some plants near the floor and I have some vents in my kitchen that are on the floor. So I realized, and I saw the plant that was blowing. I was like, oh no, I've got to move it because otherwise the heat is going to kill that plant. So I just moved it over just a little bit because the warm air will actually help the plant, but I don't want it to burn to a crisp. So I say that to you as well, Aries. You're kind of like a plant that's in a bad position. You know, you can't, how long are you going to let that plant stay in a position that is that same plant that I'm talking about? This is interesting. That same plant that I'm talking about, I used to have up here. Now in my old house, in my old apartment, it did so well here because my old apartment was facing a east facing window. Excuse me. My apartment was facing east and I had these huge pre-war windows and it just brought in so much light. So of course that plant was going to do well. Now in this office that I have, the window is off to the right. So it's not getting direct sunlight anymore. So that plant that I just told you didn't do well here. It started to die. It was very upset. And I waited and waited and I felt like I lost a good amount of the plant because I was trying to see it just wasn't where that plant wanted to be. It wasn't thriving anymore. The conditions have changed so therefore the plant could no longer stay. You know what I'm trying to say? It needed a better spot where it could continue to thrive, which is why now it is downstairs near my kitchen where there's more light, more windows, and I'm making sure it's properly watered and not overwatered. My point is now I have a new plant that can handle indirect sunlight and is doing pretty well. There's like a few things going on with it, but for the most part, the plant has been doing well. It's been there for like a couple months. You see my point, right? You see my point. Let's look at, I want to clarify the Emperor, what to avoid for you, because this does represent your card. So maybe this is also about you don't go off on people. I don't know. I apologize for all the yawning, Aries. Okay, clarify the Emperor, please. What to avoid. Ace of Wands, Page of Swords, King of Cups. You know what I just saw when I thought of when I saw this? King of Cups, water sign energy, Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio, Page of Swords, Libra, Gemini, Aquarius, Ace of Wands, new passion, new flame, new inspiration. In clarifying the Emperor, I see this and I'm like, oh, you can't have a conversation with them because it feel like you want to talk something out with someone, but I don't think this person sees things the way that you do. Maybe that's one message coming through. That was my gut reaction looking at these cards, but even though that's not really what these cards are about, if I looked at the cards for what they are, I would say that you want to have a conversation with a masculine energy, someone who is either compassionate or you want to meet them with compassion and really talk about things. This would likely be a new connection or potentially about a new job. It's about something new in your life. You want to have a conversation about it. But because this is clarifying what to avoid, I'm not sure, and you're going to have to use your discernment here. I'm not sure if Spirit is trying to advise you to avoid having this conversation with that person, okay, because it's maybe not going to be worth your time, or if Spirit is telling you to avoid being too proud to have the conversation. Because sometimes the Emperor can be proud. The Emperor just like, no, I know what I'm doing. I don't need to discuss. I don't need to consult. I know what I'm doing. This is my vision. This is my plan. People just need to execute. Maybe Spirit's trying to tell you to be a little bit more gentle. I don't know. So that's why I said use your discernment on how you kind of feel like Spirit is guiding you. Let's clarify the Tower for you. What to embrace. Clarify what to embrace for Aries, please. Main female, main character energy. Burn it all down. Clarify what to embrace for Aries. Okay, sudden wealth. We got a switch up happening here, Aries. There's going to be a turn of fate. There is going to be a change in the tides, okay? Now, and that's, again, sometimes a message of the Tower. It's sudden change. Sudden wealth is the message here. You're about to come into some money unexpectedly. I'm really interested to see if you get the windfall card in your financial career. It seems like maybe you could use it. Maybe you could use a financial boost right now. I'm not seeing that you're really broke, but I'm seeing that you need to make a change, and change requires resources. So it don't take rocket science to put 2 and 2 together. Let's see what it is that you're indecisive about with the Two of Swords here representing where to find support. Clarify the Two of Swords, please. Mature woman. There's a mature woman that you can rely on for support and advice and wisdom regarding this intuitive decision you'll need to make. I don't really feel like I need to clarify the Five of Cups here for me, because that to me just is, again, representative of you're going to have to make a decision that is not going to make you feel good. But it just feels like it needs to happen. I feel like something has run its course, Aries, and it's time for change. But I do think you will actually have the provisions to make this change. This seems tied to a relationship. Now, oftentimes the relationships that are closest to us are work relationships and romantic relationships. So with that being said, let's go ahead and see what's going on in your romantic life, and then we'll move on to your career and finances. Okay, Aries. Babe, it's been a week. As you can see, wardrobe change. Not even wardrobe change. Like, I just completely am just in my pajamas. I was kind of tired, as you can tell. Like, I was yawning, obviously, through the other video, doing your reading. But I left your cards. Your cards have been shuffled. It's been a couple of days. So I haven't touched those 2 decks for the past couple of days. It's been a week. It's been a week. I was trying to prioritize my time. I was more so trying to keep my schedule a little open, because I was trying to make some moves. Anyway, now it's Friday night, but now it's basically Saturday. And what I was keeping my schedule open for, I don't want to say it was pointless, but what I expected to happen didn't happen. So I feel like I've been putting off my forecast because, again, I've been trying to prioritize time in my schedule for other things. So now I'm just like, I have to focus on the forecast because I have to. So I wanted to make it very cozy. I just wanted to be in my house. I'm always in my house. In my robe, I literally have like the fireplace on the TV. I don't have the overhead light on. It's just the light in front of me. So and my little birthday candle. My girlfriend bought me this birthday candle. So we're just going to vibe. And I'm going to get as many readings as I can done tonight. And then we'll see how many I get done tomorrow. And then Sunday, I'm in Long Island for Labor Day, for a wedding. But, you know, it's Labor Day weekend, so. Ugh. I'm just doing my best. I'm doing my best, that's all. Aren't we all? Let's see what's happening in your love life. Okay. I haven't looked at these cards. This is the first time I'm looking at these cards, babe. And I said to myself, I should have took notes on your reading because I had a feeling I was going to forget. I didn't really forget. I know we had a lot of cards that indicated endings for you. But I was like, no, I'll watch it back if I need to, but that's okay because now I can kind of look at your love reading with a fresh perspective instead of drawing inferences from your monthly forecast. So let's just see. Let's just see what we get here. First of all, I'm gonna take that. I'm not even gonna show you what it is. What do you have for Aries, please? For September 2025. Yeah. Anything else for Aries? Yeah. Okay. Aries, please. 2025. Aries, please. 2025. All right. Aries. We got a lot going on here. What to expect, we have the Death card and the Four of Wands. The Death card does represent the sign of Scorpio in case a Scorpio is important to you. We also have Four of Wands, which as you can see in this deck is a couple getting married, but in the traditional tarot, it is a couple getting married. It is a celebration. It is a coming together. The Four of Wands can represent more than just weddings. It can represent graduations, it can represent cookouts. It's a coming together of friends and family, right? For some celebration, for some occasion. Now, because the Death card is here, for me, this is indicating or pointing towards an ending of a relationship, an ending of a union, or maybe you had plans for a party that are not coming together. Maybe, like, for example, maybe you had plans for an anniversary party. Maybe that's getting shut down. You know, so, like, it feels like something is coming to an end regarding a partnership or a union or a celebration. Or, I mean, I would love to sit here and be optimistic and say, oh, it's transformation, but that's not what it looks like. And Aries, if this is not resonating with you, if everything in your love life is amazing, okay, great. Feel free to skip to the career and finances section. However, if things start to take a turn in your love life, this will be here for you to come back and listen to if you feel like you need a little guidance, okay? The unexpected is the Two of Wands and the Eight of Wands. Now, to me, this seems like unexpectedly things will be picking up. There might be a connection that moves really fast because the Eight of Wands here, as you can see, she's holding someone's hand. The Eight of Wands is like getting carried away. It oftentimes represents infatuation, things moving very fast, quick action, sometimes also travel overseas. A lot of the wands represent travel overseas, specifically the Two of Wands, Three of Wands, Eight of Wands. Those cards typically indicate travel overseas. And then we have Two of Wands here, which is about planning and organizing. So again, you might be taking an unexpected trip with someone, but to me, just feels like you're making plans spontaneously with someone, maybe starting a new fling or new relationship that's just moving very fast, unexpectedly. I do want to touch on one of the cards I have here. We have Passion. Passion is here. So there is a connection that feels very passionate. Allow your heart and soul to sing with joy. Okay. So we've got that happening. Meanwhile, the theme of your love life is Four of Swords reversed. We've got anxiety here. Four of Swords is normally about rest. When it's reversed, it's like a lot of anxiousness, a lot of like anxious thoughts. We have the Empress, which is motherhood. Also, I feel like you're trying to be chill, but it's hard. The Empress is also about abundance. It is about, sorry, I think my dog wants to get out. Do you want to get out, Sasha? Hold on one second. her water bowl's in the other room. I usually have a water bowl in each room, but I got to bring the other one back upstairs. Okay. So the Empress also represents luxury, abundance, beauty. So, but again, I really just feel like you're trying to be chill. This could also point towards pregnancy. I'm not sure if anyone watching this, any Aries watching this, are pregnant. That could be a message here. However, it's smack dab in the middle of the Eight of Cups here, which is walking away, packing it up, needing time alone, needing some space, needing to kind of get your head straight. And then, of course, the Hangman. I really feel like you don't know where you stand in a relationship. Imagine being kicked out of the house, but not sure if your partner wants to work things out. So imagine couples who like separate, but like, and a lot of couples do. A lot of couples separate, but they're trying to work it out. But you don't really know. Does the other person really want this? Okay, sure, we need space, but does the other person want to fight for this? That's what it feels like to me. It feels like the breakdown of a relationship, but you're not really sure if the other person still wants this. Maybe you're the person who's needing space, but your partner really wants to work it out, and you're not sure if you want this. There's a lot of anxiety here. A lot of anxiety here, Aries. Well, while I was shuffling, Release Your Ex has popped out. However, Aries, I kind of feel like this is related to, like, if you're in a committed relationship, this kind of feels like a side piece. I'm not going to lie. This feels like somebody you was dealing with on the side. Time has come to clear energy. I'm just saying what I feel and sense. If this resonates with you on a deeper level, maybe an ex of however long, take that message, of course. We have deception here. Someone is wearing a false mask in this relationship. I'm going to read this message. And then from the Healing Heart Journey, the first one that came out was Innocent. Not guilty as charged, tries to do the right thing, hostility holds you hostage. I'm going to let that one connect to you in any way that it does. We have blame. Harboring resentment, pointing fingers, who's wrong doesn't matter. We have beacon. Seeing a ray of hope, a way out of the situation, able to stand your ground. Let's go ahead and read deception. Because I think you might see that and think one thing, but I think the message is really important of deception. This card is a loving nudge for you to be aware of deception within a relationship. This could involve something mild, such as run-of-the-mill politeness, where your partner is afraid of offending you by sharing true feelings. Perhaps you're the one wearing the mask because you aren't disclosing something to your partner. Deep down, you know what this card pertains to. The romance angels are trying to protect your heart. Please say this invocation either silently or aloud. Romance angels, I ask that you give me very clear guidance that I can easily notice and understand to reveal the truth about this situation to my conscious awareness. Then notice and trust the signs that follow. This card is also a reminder to you about the importance of being genuine with your partner. Although discussing your true feelings may be uncomfortable, it will improve your relationship on many levels. I feel like I don't have guidance for you, to be honest. I'm like, okay, shit is kind of messy, but what do you do? Six of Swords reversed, the Fool reversed, Ten of Swords. These are like all the swords, like, I feel like there's going to be, the Six of Swords reversed here is telling me that you're going to try to work things out with this person. It's unfinished business because you don't want to have to start over. The Fool here. So with the Fool reversed and the Six of Swords reversed, you're going to give this one last ditch effort before things are really over. Now, the Ten of Swords, I just want to be very clear about this. The Ten of Swords does represent endings. I mean, you can see even here it says like divorce certificate. I want to be very clear that that is the energy right now. Just because we see the Ten of Swords here now, like let's say you try to reconcile with your person or your person tries to reconcile with you and you're just not having it. You're like, no. Okay, that is true for September. That's true for right now. That does not mean that 6 months from now, you can't change your mind, your partner can't change your mind. I'm not trying to give you false hope. I'm trying to just get you to understand kind of how tarot works, that this isn't the end all be all. So I don't know where you are in your relationship journey. I don't know how long you've been with your person. Maybe you've been together for a year. Maybe you've been together for a week. Okay. I just want to be very clear about that, because I don't ever want to be the person, I don't want to be the reason that marriages don't work. And I don't know that anybody would. I don't, genuinely let me know. I don't know that someone would end their marriage because a horoscope said so. And that's not to say I don't believe my work. This is me examining the energy that is present and allowing you to make educated and informed decisions in your life based on what I'm presenting to you. Okay. I hope all of my followers have the awareness of that. So this looks messy, babe. You know, if you need to unpack your relationship situation further, everything you need to know to book a session with me is below, but I hope this helps a little bit. I would say, Aries, play it out. See, you know, try to, if you want to try to save it, try. See how things go. But if it doesn't work, just like work on yourself for a little bit, okay? And see how things go. Maybe you realize you don't even actually want them. You just got comfortable with them, you know? All right, I'm gonna clear this. Let's move on to your career and finances. Okay, here we go. I have not seen these cards either. Career and finances for Aries. Here we have the Ten of Swords again. I want you to look up the Ten of Swords whenever we have repeating cards. Definitely want you to look that up. All right, so I think things in your finances, your career and finances, are looking a bit better. Things are looking a little bit better. For Aries, September 2025, please. Aries 2025 for September, please. Aries, September 2025. One more, please, for Aries, September 2025. Aries, September 2025. Aries, September 2025. Thank you. Okay, let's put that over here. Okay, yeah. What to expect? We have the King of Pentacles and reversed and the Six of Wands. The King of Pentacles is typically earth sign energy, Capricorn, Taurus, Virgo. When it is reversed, it does represent, am I in focus? Yeah. When it is reversed, it is representative of financial insecurity oftentimes. It is a message to be prudent, maybe be considerate about the investments you're making. Sometimes it represents having made a bad investment. Sometimes this could even be pointing towards like, I'm feeling and hearing like being out of work. Only because it's next to the Six of Wands, which is victory, success, achievement, recognition. So it feels like a victory, you know, maybe after you've been unemployed for a while. That might be a message here. I also feel, Aries, maybe you were starting to feel like you were losing your sense of worth. That's not really what the message of the King of Pentacles is, but that's what I'm feeling. Like maybe you're feeling validated and seen in a way that you hadn't in a really long time. That's kind of, I don't want to say it's encouraging you, because I don't think it's encouraging you, but I think it's a nice reminder, a nice nudge that you still have something of value to offer in your work life. Because I'm kind of feeling that maybe you felt like you don't have much to offer anymore. Does that make sense? Unexpected is Knight of Swords and Page of Cups reverse. Okay, now the Knight of Swords is air sign energy, Libra, Gemini, Aquarius. Typically it's about moving very fast. As you can see, he is moving towards his motorcycle. It's about moving fast, operating off information. The Knight of Swords can be considered very ambitious because they want to get things done quickly, but sometimes they don't always think things through. And then we have the Page of Cups here, water sign energy, Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. The Page of Cups also represents happy surprises and emotional, sometimes immaturity, but along with that, creativity, as well as a few other things. So when we look at these together reversed For me, number one, we've got a slowdown here, and this could be a slowdown of a creative project. This could be a slowdown in relation to a water sign, Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. Now, sometimes the Page of Cups reverse can represent something you've been working on privately that you haven't been sharing with people. And maybe you're just slowing down on the progress of that, maybe redirecting your energy, your attention. Page of Cups sometimes is also children or young people. Maybe you were working with a young person and you're going to pause that work. Maybe they need a break. This is really specific coming through here. And I'm going to jump ahead here because the teacher card is coming out. Okay. Maybe for me, this might feel like if you were like tutoring or working with a child directly, there's like a slowdown of giving that person attention. I feel like, okay, teacher here, you have the ability to motivate others to strive to uncover their true potential. Consider careers in teaching, coaching, mentorship, or being a motivational speaker. You've learned much about money. This is the time to put it into practice. Yeah, some unexpected slowdown happening here, Aries. And I do know one of my Aries followers who is a teacher, so I'm not sure if that's resonating with you, my love, but I'm thinking of you. Let's look at the theme of the month here. Five of Wands reversed, which typically is about competing, wanting to prove yourself, conflict sometimes. When it's reversed, you're no longer competing. Something is ending here. Ten of Swords again. The fight is over is what I'm hearing, and I am really specifically hearing this in relation to like a job search, okay? And the reason why I'm saying this is because the Five of Pentacles is reversed. Five of Pentacles is typically financial hardship. When it's reversed, you're coming out of hardship. And because it's right next to the Wheel of Fortune, for me, a stroke of luck is coming in, financial security and abundance, maybe a windfall, perhaps a turn of the tide, if you will. Next to the Devil reversed. For me, this is like detachment. This does represent Capricorn energy, so this could be related to a job. As I often connect the Devil with work because Capricorns are typically very like work and goal oriented. So I connect, not just me, a lot of other readers as well connect the Devil to work. But when it's reversed, it's releasing of something. For me, there's something coming in your life that's allowing you to detach from something. Does that make sense? You're able to let something go because something else better is coming along. We've got the Explorer card. Keep trying. There are no mistakes, just opportunities to learn and grow. You may be called to explore careers that match your fearlessness and curiosity. You may need to go wandering and trust the unknown. That's where magic lies. We also have Unreliable. Now, this card is kind of tricky for me because when I see it, I'm just like, I kind of hate to see it. But I'm also like, ugh, who or what is it? There's some confusion regarding money. People may not follow through on their promises and not pay on time. Expected money may not materialize. Now, to me, Aries, this just seems to me, especially when I see the Unreliable card, don't wait too long on one source of income, okay? So if you're, okay, this is really specific, Spirit just gave me. If you're waiting on money from a car, maybe selling a car, which is interesting because I don't have the Chariot here. I would be looking to see the Chariot if anything was related to transportation, but that's okay. But this is just an analogy. Let's say that you were like really like expecting to get a windfall of money from selling the car and you're like focused on selling the car. Maybe don't only focus on selling the car, focus on some other ways that you could make some quick cash as well. What else are you willing to sell in your home? What else can you put on Facebook Marketplace? Are there any services you can offer? Just if you need quick cash, I don't know. There's just whenever this message is here, it's usually whatever you're fixated on and it's usually whatever you're expecting to come through. Or let me rephrase it. It's usually whatever you're needing to come through. Like again, if we're just using the example of selling the car, I just need to sell the car because that's a few $1,000s and I could really use that and da 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 da. It's usually whatever you're like, I need this to happen, that like is the message. Sure, try to sell the car. You may not be able to sell the car as fast as you want to, which is why you need to focus on some other areas of maybe bringing in some cash. Only receive that message if it resonates. That's just kind of the advice that I like to give around that card. So overall, Aries, I feel like there's a shift happening in your career and your finances. I do feel like there might have been some financial insecurity lately, but now it seems that you're getting some well-deserved recognition. I also feel like you're ending a job or ending a job search, coming out of financial security, but also letting go of something. It feels like you're walking away from a job, but also maybe starting a new one. I don't have any aces here. That's what I would look to for confirmation of new jobs. But that doesn't mean that that's not the case here, because with the Six of Wands and the Wheel of Fortune, I mean, that would bode pretty well for recognition and, good luck, good stroke of fate, that kind of thing. Let me know if any of that is resonating below. I didn't pick an oracle card for you, but I did know that I wanted to use the crystal spirits this month. So let's see what comes out for you, Aries. Spirit, just one for September 2025 for Aries. This is the oracle book, by the way. I'm not sure if this is in my Amazon storefront, but maybe. I don't know. What do you have for Aries, please? September 2025. Overall theme of the month for Aries. September 2025. Aries, September 2025. Okay, well, I got two here. I got turquoise and aura light. Okay, I guess I'll try to read both, I guess. I started turquoise first. So we'll read that one first. That was on top. Essential meaning, storytelling, reframing, a different way of perceiving, okay? Each of us can experience the same event differently because all of us are coming from different vantage points. Know too that as you change, so will your perspective. And the message Turquoise Spirit has for you is that you can change your story of what happened in the past at any time. You can choose which details to focus on and how to interpret events, for you are being encouraged to claim your power as a storyteller. Make no mistake, storytelling is an awesome power, for no one can take your truth away from you, but you may discover that it has more angles than you realized, just as a crystal turned over in your hand has more facets than apparent at first glance. What storytelling will you tell? What story will you tell? Will it be one that is heroic and empowering, worthy of your hard work and efforts to heal what is wounded within you? Rest assured that you can be honest about all you have experienced and done, yet still write a story that will help you feel you are strong, wise, and supported by the conscious universe. The truth we all share is complicated, and the way you tell your truth is up to you. So Turquoise Spirit encourages you to write your story well in a way that honors, empowers, and heals you and gives you strength even if others may not seem to accept your truth. Tell it anyway, for doing so is a healing act. So what that means is this is very much tapping into law of attraction here. Maybe not even law of attraction, but I mean, it is a little bit because there's a difference between saying that your marriage failed and now you have this kind of self-concept of a failure and someone who's bad at love, and that's how you move forward, trying to heal that, versus saying, me and my partner grew apart, I've changed, they've changed, I'm open to new connections. You see the difference, and that completely shifts the energy of your future. I'm here to help you. I'm here to help you. Okay, let's look at Aura Light. This is the card here. Mindfulness, meditation on the present. Okay, to be mindful is to be aware of To be mindful is to be aware of the now rather than distracted by the past or future and any thoughts of oughts, shoulds, and might haves. So these messages seem kind of connected. Your quest for healing requires discovering that you are truly thinking and feeling when you are not distracting yourself. or a light spirit calls you to be mindful of your needs right now. For this may be a time to let tears flow or laughter arise, to recognize something so subtle that you previously missed it, or to understand that you are so much more than what you can accomplish or produce. Be here in this moment, fully present and accepting of what is. Make the time to meditate today and simply observe what you know and feel without starting to talk yourself out of it and into something else. No matter how hard this moment may seem, simply by observing it, you will change it. So the other message that this is really saying is you need to sit with your feelings. I was just talking to my mom about that today. She was saying how one of our family members, they're constantly busying themselves. They feel like, she feels like they can't sit still. And her assumption, I'm not really agreeing or disagreeing, is that this person doesn't know how to like be still and like sit with their emotions and sit with their feelings. And that can be dangerous if you never give yourself time to process, if you could ever give yourself time to put down your phone. Like sometimes I'll intentionally walk my dog without my phone just so I can kind of be present in nature and so I can kind of just hear my own thoughts. And sometimes just kind of walking and being out in God's earth just allows me to clear my head even just for a few minutes. And so last night I did that and I kind of got this idea of how I wanted to do something in my business. And we don't give ourselves that opportunity if we're always distracted, if we're scrolling, if we're, flipping through Netflix or calling up a friend or what, you know what I mean? If we allow ourselves to constantly be distracted, how can we let God's voice come through or the universe to give you that divine idea? However you connect, I don't really care. Okay. I hope that's helpful. Aries, I love you so much. Drop a comment below if this is connecting with you. It does seem like September is not going to be a fun month. I'm going to be very honest with you about that. It feels like it's going to be difficult emotionally. I think there's some highs and there's some wins, but like wins for you to look forward to. But this feels like a difficult month to navigate. And I'm never telling you these things to scare you. I don't know if I said this to you in your other video. I'm not in the monthly forecast. I'm not telling you these things to scare you. I'm telling you these things to help you prepare your emotions and navigate your life. Because that's really what started my desire to do these Horoscopes, is because I know how impactful this is for my life. I do monthly forecasts for myself every fucking single month. And even when we're at the end of August. I had a card. I'll show you. I had a card in here called the past in the position of major accomplishment. And I was like, here it is, this one. In the position of major accomplishment. Because it doesn't matter. So even when I do my readings, sometimes I look at things and I was like, whatever. At the start of the month, I'm like, I don't know how it's going to unfold, but I have the map. And I'll come back to it as I need, as the 30 days unfold. Now that we're at the end of the month, I'm like, okay. I have that hyper awareness of how to navigate and where to direct my energy because I'm prepared. These readings are to prepare you. If you don't kind of have a little bit of a guide, it's so easy to just fly off the handle. And that's coming from someone who's deeply emotional, like deeply emotional. So for me, this is my way to keep my sanity a little bit. And I don't think people really realize that. I think people just think that we're just witchy, weird people and whatever. No. This is my lifeline. This is my lifeline, because if not, I would be a mess. All right, Aries, I love you. I'll see you in the next one. Drop some comments below. If you want to connect with me, everything you need is in the description below. Okay? All right, I'll talk to you soon.